I want to be independent at 80 if I can be. So I'm going to have to make some sacrifices now.
Hello and welcome. Dr. Eric Thomas, aka E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher, is a motivational speaker, YouTube personality, podcaster, pastor, director of Breathe University, and author of several books. He is the CEO of his own consulting firm and has worked with both Fortune 500 companies and professional sports organizations. He has also released several albums setting his motivational talks to hip-hop music, and his words continue to impact tens of millions of people across the planet. E.T. was once homeless on the streets of Detroit, but went on to get his PhD. He is an example that no matter where you are right now, you can still accomplish your dreams. Everything you've done so far is the foundation for where you're going next. It's never too late. You never have too much stacked against you. If you want to change your life, if you want to live differently, if you want to live at 100% capacity, you have to see, feel, think, and speak differently. You need to have the confidence in yourself to know that you're good enough. You should be able to express yourself with confidence and conviction in your voice.
Or like that room, like I go to a high school, like boom. I go to a youth detention center, boom. I go to a prison, boom.
Your brain is like a circuit switch. Once you believe you are something, once you have confidence, you actually embody it. Self-confidence is your belief in how good you are at something, but it's not a measure of your actual skill. So why does it matter if you believe in yourself? It's because confidence doesn't just make you feel better. It also helps you take risks to make tangible improvements to your life. Learning how to believe in yourself is a skill that fits hand in glove with learning how to be confident. Internally, true self-confidence will lead to more positivity, happiness, and resilience. Externally, high self-confidence will lead to taking more risks, which directly correlates with reaping more rewards. If you want to do what you've never done before, if you want to be where you've never been before, change your mentality and build your confidence.
I honestly believe in the early part of my career, when I used to stand on these kind of stages, I wasn't as effective as I am now. I started getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning. It was like, yo, you're gonna have to get up a little bit earlier because you didn't finish school. You didn't take care of your business. You can't get up the same time another man who gets up, who handle his business. So you need to get up at 3 if you're gonna catch the greats. You gotta get up at 3, you gotta go to bed earlier. This is why I said I never drank or smoked, because the men in my life who did it were extremists. I had an uncle who died, cirrhosis of the liver. You know, I had other uncles who drank, and my father, bless his heart, but he was strung out on drugs for about 14 years. And I was just like, yo, E, you can see that they don't know how to do it casually. Like, they ain't social drinkers. Like, they ain't social on subject. They taking it to a whole other level. And so for me, it was like, E, you gotta discipline yourself. You're not gonna die if you never know what alcohol tastes like. But if you taste it, you might have the same experience they had. So you just gotta discipline yourself. You know, I do vegan most of the time, you know what I'm saying? And I tell people all the time, I love fried chicken. I love macaroni and cheese. I love a lot of dessert. But in my family is diabetes. So it's like, yo, E, if you do what they do, then you're gonna get the results they got. So yeah, chicken is good, and macaroni and cheese, the way my grandma make it, is great. And yes, the pound cake is phenomenal. But if you wanna be with Dee Dee for the next 30, 40 years, and you wanna be able to walk, you know what I'm saying? You don't wanna be on the cruise. I was just on the cruise, and a couple people, you know, was on the motor scooter, you know what I'm saying? People with the canes and the walk. Eric, you're gonna love this one. I put out so much content that if you listen to my stuff for free, every single day, if you listen to one of my pieces of content, there's over 10 years worth of content. There's over 10, like, you can listen to me once a day for 10 straight years and not have to pay nothing. But guess what happened in those 10 years? Cam Newton started listening to me in middle school and high school. Then he went to Auburn and told the coach to come get me. Then he went to the pros and told the coach, I gotta speak at all these kids in the hood who didn't have fathers, I became their father on Instagram. So when they went to the NBA, they took their daddy with them. When they went to the NFL, they took their daddy with them. When they became preachers and started church, when they became CEOs or execs at companies, when they looked for a trainer, it wasn't that I was better than anybody else, but they didn't see less as their daddy. Any product I come out with, they buy it because they feel like you raised me. The least I could do is spend $25 with you. Does that make sense? So we're not looking at competition as it's something, come on, we're not looking at competition as it's something bad. We're looking at competition as something, so don't be afraid of your competitors. And do not compare yourself to your competitors, because you'll never be as good as they are at what they do. In order to achieve greatness, you must first believe you can. Because for some of you, the reason why you're not taking advantage of this opportunity is not because you don't believe in it, you don't believe in you. I honestly believed in the earlier part of my career, when I used to stand on these kind of stages, I wasn't as effective as I am now. College, it was so funny. Like, we would go to these major cities, and these guys that I was with, like, they were like, theology majors, and they would like speak at these different places, and I wasn't good enough. I think for me, because, somebody had spoken to me when I was about 17 years old, and they literally saw this. Like, when I was 17, sleeping in abandoned buildings, not taking showers, eating out of trash cans, they were like, yo, you got something. And I was like, well, what is that? The first time, it's an older man who was like, yo, you can do it. So he helped me to get my GED, sent me out to college. His name was P.C. Willis. He was went to every now and then with one of my homeboys, and it was just unbelievable. He helped me get my GED, sent me 780 miles away from Detroit, and I just got in a new environment in college. And once I got there, I was just like, I was so grateful that I had to pay it forward. So I was like, yo, what this guy did for me, I've got to do unto others. And that's what I've been doing, just speaking life into people who just don't believe that they can do it. So many people think that, like, you have to have a mother or a father in your life. Like, you have to go to a certain school. You have to, and I don't believe that. I believe when you wake up and you're ready to, like, live, at that point, I can help you to get from where you are to where you want to be. And that's why I say, some people think, when you look at certain successful people, maybe their fathers passed something down or their mothers passed down. It's like, no, it doesn't make a difference if they pass it down or not. Everybody's got to wake up and grind. And if you're willing to work like they're willing to work, you can have whatever you want. And this book is for every, individual that feels like, I didn't come from, that environment that just sets me up for success. If you want to build a business with a quarter, if you were homeless, if you lost your child, if you lost your marriage, like if you just feel like you are at ground zero, you have absolutely nothing. This is the book that tells you you have everything you need to have and to be and do everything you want. Yeah, because I think we focus so much, we focus so much on what we don't have, focus on what everybody else has. Like, we always want to focus on the disadvantage, and I'm not saying we're not disadvantaged, but if you make that the focus, where your focus goes, your energy flows. Mm-hmm. So I'm just gonna focus on a couple things I do have. Life, I got a brain, I know how to read, I know how to speak. So what, my father wasn't there? So what, I didn't go to the best school district? So what, I got kicked out? So what, I got kicked out of college? So what? I'm gonna focus on what I can do, what I do have, and what I can become. And that's what I think the problem is.